Hi, thank you for coming back to us here at Sun and Fun. I'm Dave St. George. I'm the chief volunteer at SAFE here at the booth. We're broadcasting live from booth C55. If you're getting us on Facebook, come over and say hi and join us. If you have a product that you'd like people to see, come and join us at the booth. Fortunately, Jon Harden stopped by and I collared him and said, "You'll have a good time here. We're going to talk about insurance." Jon is with Aviation Insurance Resources, and they're a partner with SAFE, and they offer the most comprehensive insurance. And I just wanted to have him here to share some of his ideas on the program that we offer together at SAFE. Thank you for joining me.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
And you were having fun until I roped you in and made you sit in front of cameras.
Well, it's not my favorite thing to do, but I'm certainly happy to be here to do it.
Yeah, and the big thing you want to understand, I was talking with Jon earlier, a lot of pilots see insurance people as the enemy, the adversarial relationship. But what I point out to everyone is you're managing risks as a pilot. When you have a risk manager and you're working together, you're partnering to make safety happen. And when something happens, you call Jon and he says, "You're covered." It's the best two words you can hear.
Very true. Very true.
I can't imagine how many stories you have to tell about.
We've got a few stories actually, but one of the things that we hear an awful lot is, "I wonder if I should turn this claim in or not." And the obvious answer is, well, that's what you have insurance for. Don't be afraid to turn it in. A lot of people are afraid it's going to affect their insurability or their rates are going to go through the roof. And generally speaking, it doesn't really work that way. But that's why you buy insurance, so you should use it.
Yeah. In other words, you should think of him as your partner. And we were talking before we went live, and he's a personally confessed aviation addict. Like I said, everyone at AIR, they're pilots. They actually offer scholarships every year, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scholarship they offer, and you can go on there and apply for that at any level, I believe.
Yep.
Right?
It's we do it every year, any level from student on up. It's for learning to fly or training, additional training.
Getting that helicopter rating?
Absolutely. Whatever you want to do.
And I think last year you had two people that were so well qualified, you actually gave out 2 scholarships.
That is absolutely true. We had 2 people that were so good. I told Victoria, I said, "Look, they're so good, we got to give 2 scholarships this year. I think it's important for both of them."
So heartbreaking, he had a competition. Both pilots were totally qualified for this money. So instead of saying it's you or it's you, he said, "I'm going to give one to both." Anyway, tell us a little bit about your history. You were saying you learned to fly on floats in Wisconsin?
Actually on skis. Off a frozen lake, Lake Eau Claire, Wisconsin, when I was about probably 10 or 12. And I was hooked from that point forward, actually.
Yeah. And the whole insurance business came about as like most of us, I have an aviation habit. Now I have to figure out how to pay for it. So as he told me, he went to the Flying Magazine and he looked for the 3 biggest ads. Right?
That's correct.
Yep, he ended up with Avemco.
That's correct.
And worked for them for many years.
There 17 years, yes.
17?
Right.
You're younger than you look. Good for you. So 17 years at Avemco, and then the big change came, and I was saying I ran a flight school at that time. I ran a 141 flight school for 25 years. We were with Avemco, and suddenly they said, "You're not insured anymore." Yeah. So Jon started your own place. You started AIR,
That's
right?
kind of what happened to me as well. Avemco was sold, and one of the changes they made was to close all the regional offices, which I was in charge of. And I decided, well, all that talent's hitting the streets. That's an opportunity I have to do something with, so we started Aviation Insurance Resources almost 20 years ago now.
20 years ago, great. Yeah, and when we started SAFE, one of the major pushes from our people, flight instructors coming to us, was the need for a really comprehensive coverage. And I know you worked with Jim Anderson.
Jim Anderson at Star, yes.
Yeah, and the whole intention was putting something together like this, which covers you in just about anything you can fly. I'm a pilot examiner, and one of the things was getting good insurance as a pilot examiner. And I know people right now, Lloyd's of London, you know what that costs a year to be insured comprehensively by Lloyd's of London? This kid is you know, he's in the Boston FISDO, and I said, you got to get with SAFE. You got to get with AIR. Because, I mean, you just look, all of the things. If you can fly it and you're rated in it, John's pretty much going to have you covered.
Yeah, the only things that really aren't covered in the basic plan, which, by the way, when somebody calls and they're a CFI looking for CFI insurance, the first thing we ask them is if they're a SAFE member, because the SAFE policy actually you get a discounted rate in the standard rate, plus it includes seaplanes and multi-engine.
Right.
Which the base policy doesn't. If you're just a normal CFI, not a SAFE member, you'd have to pay extra for that. Covers you as a designated examiner. Covers you, we have this question all the time, how about LSA, ELSA, or it really covers you in any single engine airplane or multi-engine up to, I think, 450 horsepower.
And I think we even asked you, do you cover instruction if you're instructing in unmanned aerial vehicles? And I think the answer was yes.
Yes, I think we have to endorse that. That was a recent development, of course, with the new UAVs.
They're everywhere, those little things.
Yeah. The other thing to know about is, we get this question a lot too, is I'm instructing in a pressurized airplane or a turbine airplane, which is not part of the basic program, but there are people that do that sort of thing that need that coverage, and on a case-by-case basis we can get that done usually.
And if you go onto the SAFE website and you click onto the part of the insurance program, and you'll see this very same diagram there with big circles where your gaps are, because you're not covered. If you're not insured there, you're running naked. And you can fill that form out and get a quote right online, I understand.
That's correct.
Yeah, there's a really nice online form, and I found that to be very simple to go through, get a quote right in your hand.
You can actually get a quote. You can start coverage immediately and print out your policy right then and there.
Everything online. So what an amazing service, yeah. And I can't emphasize enough, we live in a very litigious society. You're not a lawyer, I'm not a lawyer, but they're around, and somebody's going to get one when you hit somebody, and you really can't afford as a CFI to be giving instruction. Some very high-rent people owning those planes. And, we were joking about farmers insurance. We've been there, we've seen that.
We know a thing or two.
Stuff happens, and I'm sure at Avemco you saw that. And then,
yes.
20 years with AIR, the stories are not always good. We like to emphasize the happy part, but again, when you're managing risk, you're partnering with your insurance person, you want to be covered. You want to be covered comprehensively. And the thing that immediately when I saw, because I shopped insurance in a lot of different markets, they cover every market, right?
Correct. All insurance markets that work with brokers.
Right. And so, what I saw was I'm seaplane rated. I can't get seaplane coverage. I'm multi-engine rated. I can't get multi-engine coverage until I have some ungodly number of hours. Right. I looked at the AIR policy and I'm covered. It's amazing.
Yep.
I'm a wings participant. I try to do things safely. I get a discount for that. I'm a master instructor. I looked on there. I get a discount for that. Right. So they very actively advocate and incentivize being a safe pilot. It's a wonderful program. I really like it. Not only is he an insurance broker and a pilot, he's a little somewhat crazy because he just got his rotorcraft rating last year. In other words, John doesn't just, I have a certificate in my pocket. He actively flies, and he got a rotorcraft certificate in a Robinson of all things, right?
R-22, great little helicopter. It's really, really fun learning, I have to say. Exciting.
And you insure yourself for that, right? AIR insures you, so yeah, brave people.
Yep. I fly a Cessna 180 and a Pitts S1S normally, and I added the helicopter last fall.
Great. Well, we are so happy to have you as a partner at SAFE, and I really appreciate your stepping up and doing an interview with me.
My pleasure.
I want to mention that we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube. It should be coming over the SAFE Facebook now. We have a couple of upcoming shows you wouldn't want to miss. Tomorrow, Thursday, at 10 o'clock, we got Patty Wagstaff going to be here. We're going to talk to her. Appearing virtually on Friday will be Rod Machado, who's in California. It's probably a little sunnier there, but he'll be at about 1 o'clock on Friday if you tune into the channel. Later today, we're going to have Mike Shefflett from CFI Boot Camp on the channel. Mike does training exclusively for CFIs, and he has a very good success rate both in Palo Alto and the new schools here in Florida. So he'll be on next to talk with us. Again, thank you very much, John, for talking to us. Anything else you want to tell people besides join SAFE and buy my insurance?
Join SAFE and support SAFE. And also, being aviators, we feel real strongly about this. Give back to aviation. If it's been good to you, give back to it and mentor other people to get them into aviation. We need more new young people in this business.
We absolutely do. And pursuant to that, I would say on Friday, the other person we're talking to, Hal Shevers. Hal is a very big supporter of SAFE, and he's also, endlessly supporting the initiative of developing new pilots. Gives free ground schools to all the young Eagles. So that'll be Friday at 11. Thanks again, John.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it. Yep.
Appreciate it.